Welcome to Conscious Business Talks. It's Friday. We're wrapping up the end of the week, and I am so thrilled to be at this new time, at least for the time being. We're going to be meeting every Friday at 8:30 Eastern Time. That would be 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, and for all of you in Australia, my absolutely wonderful friends everywhere. In Australia, it's going to be Saturday morning. So I'm hoping that it's actually a little bit better for us to meet in terms of time and time availability. But definitely welcome Friday. Okay, Matt, thank you so much. Matt says, I have sound. That's always good to know because, as you know, I have been known to have soliloquies just by myself. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you today about fear and the sameness, the boringness, the same tune of fear, because it might seem that the essence of it is different, or the flavor of it is different, or the source of it is different, or what is causing it is different. But really, when you come down to it, the song is pretty repetitive. My fear, your fear, everybody's fear, especially fear of the unknown. And at a later time, on a later show, let's explore about the types of fear you need and fear you don't need. But today, the type of fear I'm talking about is not the kind of fear where the lion or the tiger or something that's about to eat you or hurt you imminently is right nipping at your heels, and you need to have that short burst of energy to just get out of the way and not think too hard about what's around you. Just get out of dodge, so to speak. But the fear I'm talking about is the fear that, unless you've been hiding under a rock, it seems to be pretty palpable and around us. It is fear of what you can't see, fear of the unknown, fear of what might hurt you, fear of what has hurt somebody you know, fear of what you imagine, some true, some not true, fear of everything you're hearing, fear of everything that's being driving at you, fear of whatever it is you're being bombarded with. And frankly, the reason I wanted to talk about it today is because as we speak, there is probably one of the biggest displays of solidarity that I've seen since I've been in North America. At least in my recent memory, I can't think of anything that seems to have united people quite to this degree. It's winter here in Ottawa. There is a fair bit of snow. It's cold. Canada is a cold place to begin with in winter for the most part. Like, I don't know, even Vancouver. And I can't think of any place in Canada that doesn't feel the winter in some shape or form. So for people to let go of what is warm and comfortable and convenient and actually get on the road to stand for freedom, to take courage by the hand, to stand against something that goes against the establishment to this degree, that is something to marvel at, to respect, and to give props to, I gotta say. So I gotta talk about fear today. boring fear, the sameness of fear, and the courage of people who, despite the fear all around them, fear of loss, fear of threats, fear of having things taken away from you that you don't want to have taken away from you. And despite that, standing up for what you truly believe in, standing up for freedom, not just yours, but even for the freedom of those whose choices are different from yours. I don't have enough words to describe what kind of emotion that brings up in me, and how much respect I feel for people who just do that. To me, human beings are incredible to begin with. Even when we are not showing up as our best, I still feel that the potential of that incredibleness of what makes us human is still there. And when I see people doing this, standing up for what they believe to be right, regardless of their own choice, even when the majority of them have a different choice, they are still standing up for what is right, not for, for the respect of the choice, for standing for freedom, for standing for freedom of expression, of freedom of choice, and leaning towards, dare I say, something that feels a lot like common sense. And I say those words not because of any political motive or me trying to kind of, amplify one side choice than another. It's primarily because when we are in the throes of fear, when we are so bombarded by it that we don't think clearly, certain things are just don't make sense. We don't even have the mental clarity to actually reach and form the thoughts around them. But when you look at it from a little bit of a distance and with more clarity, peace, and again, maybe the wrong word, I hope it doesn't offend anybody, I'm sorry if it does, but I'm going to use it anyway because it seems to fit. But the sanity that we need to form certain thoughts around a situation. It's when we seem to let go of what we would have yesterday stood up for, but today we're too afraid to. That kind of stuff is only possible when we take a step back and remember the basic values that shape a particular society that we take pride in. And when people stand up for those values, I gotta give props to that. I don't like division. I don't like people standing against each other for things that don't lift creation up, that don't elevate how we are as human beings, as these amazing expressions of our Creator. And I just love the fact that right now, as I speak, there is a ginormous convoy of really courageous people who, by the way, that I'm talking about the truckers, in case you haven't picked up. I'm talking about the truckers. There's this ginormous convoy that is on its way to the Canadian capital, Ottawa, because they want to stand for freedom. They do not want to bow down to mandates, especially mandates that make no sense to them. I'm not here to say it's right or it's wrong, because I know there are people who have very strong emotions on both sides of it. I'm trying to bring attention to the fact, to the point that when people take a step back to step away from what is so amplified, this core of fear, and they stand back and they say, I made a choice that makes sense to me. My choice is different from my brother's choice. and my this brother's choice or my sister's choice. But because I stand for them being able to make a choice, and I do not want freedom to be taken away, I will stand with my brothers and my sisters, and I will stand for what is right. I just, I have so much respect for that. It causes so much emotion to come up in my heart. It's hard for me to share that. This is what human beings are supposed to be like. Even when we were so scared, when this whole pandemic thing was rolling out, this is before vaccines and all the debate about vaccines. I'm talking about in the early days when there was so much fear and there were lockdowns and people were staying at home. These guys were still in their trucks driving back and forth, bringing essential supplies to wherever they were needed. How cool is that? Our front line, our police, our firefighters, our paramedics, our nurses, our doctors, and our truckers. And anybody, frankly, if I have missed somebody just because I'm just listing off people, if I've forgotten anybody who stands in that front line, I'm sorry. You're in my heart because I have so much respect for you. But these truckers, they're the first group of people that I have seen stand up, regardless of what their choice was, vaccinated or unvaccinated. In fact, most of them are vaccinated. But it's not about the vaccine or lack of. It's about standing up for people's choice and for what they believe is right. I have not seen one other group of our frontline workers standing up for each other, regardless of their choice, because most of the time it's really scary to look at somebody else's choice being threatened, somebody else's choice being taken away, somebody else's livelihood being threatened, and not taking that stance to kind of say it's okay, it's them. They're the ones who are under attack. I'm okay for now. Because we are never okay when somebody else's choice is taken away. As human beings, we are so connected. As human beings, we are never not affected when somebody else's choice is taken away. If it's not this thing today, it will be this or another thing tomorrow. For you, for somebody you love. That's why I always have trouble thinking, oh, it's them. It's not them. It's us. It's always us. I did not see this solidarity, this display of courage, being labeled as domestic terrorists, having this frame put around you, showing you to be people who are extremists, who are ignorant, who are causing problems, even your own association standing up against you, and still having the courage, despite the cold and the inconvenience and everything, to go from one part of the country to another. Weather, road conditions, fear of losing your livelihood, being thrown in jail, arrested for saying something that the establishment doesn't like. None of that seems to stop these guys. And the love I see pouring out for people all across, not just Canada. Oh my God. I'm hearing about truckers from California. Like, it's not about Canada and the States, then the southern North America and the northern North America. It's literally about right and wrong. And when these courageous people who literally stood up for values and established this part of the world as their homeland, are there mistakes? Are there bad choices that were made along the way? For sure there were. When are they not? But the values that I always associate with North America, I'm seeing evidence of that, and it makes me so freaking proud. I heard from truckers from California, like not one or two, but in the thousands. What was it? I heard 10,000, and from different parts of the United States, from Chicago, from Ohio, from the Midwest, like all of these places, from driving. And then get this, I'm hearing about support coming from, what was it, Belgium, from Finland. Every day, the courage of these people are inspiring other people from different parts of the world to come together and say, we are with you. I can't even express how cool that is, to witness human beings standing with each other, irrespective of the borders, irrespective of whatever divisions we normally, lean towards, whether it's race, this whole color and religion thing, or divisions of borders. None of that. It's just we stand united. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And even the name, I saw on the news finally, when it's absolutely impossible to deny it, because they're literally, tomorrow, they're going to be the 29th is when they actually reach the capital. I know that I've heard of roads being blocked and to the capital and so on. I've no idea what's in store for these courageous people. But what I do know is that so much support is pouring out. People are joining the convoy, even though they're not truckers. They're standing on bridges in the cold. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, all over the major highway bridges. They're standing with Canadian flags and waving, welcoming these truckers rolling. I cannot help but say kudos. Kudos to every person standing together, regardless of what their choice is, in this division that is being caused. Breaks my heart to witness that division. Oh, just thank you. Even the name, the Freedom Convoy, the news is calling it the protest convoy, the protest trucker, protesting truckers protest convoy. It's not. They're literally rolling in the name of freedom. They're calling it the Freedom Convoy because they're standing up for the sanity that we should all have. The sanity that goes with that, hey, I've got my vaccine. I'm going to chill now. I don't have to be afraid of different variations. I don't have to be afraid of other people. I am okay. If somebody else didn't get vaccinated, fine, their choice. It's on them. Whether I believe that the vaccine will save me or not, I can say, I got my vaccine. I'm okay. I don't need there to be mandates forced on people, threats on their livelihood, treatment being denied to them. That is not cool, guys. We are human beings. We are better than this. Politics aside, profit motives aside, as an entrepreneur, I understand that a business and the need to provide through that business for the livelihood of all those you're dependent on, the need to, for profitability is not a bad word. But this kind of profitability to me is beyond, like, this isn't ethical profitability. This isn't profitability. This isn't what business is supposed to be. Let's end the insanity, and props to these amazing people. So happy that you stand together. And we stand together. I'm saying that as if I'm not supporting them. I am supporting them because to me, as human beings, we have to. So I'm going to take a look at comments. I know Matt, you say, I've never in my life seen Canadians stand up like this. I don't think we're standing up in fear, though this seems to be more a feeling of hope. 100%. I'm not talking about fear being associated with the convoy. I am talking about fear being associated with people divided, and the narrative being that if someone doesn't do the same thing as you, your life is in danger. So you must suppress them. You must take away their choice in the name of your health. I don't get that. And trucks and other supporters started showing up last night. Oh, I knew that they were rolling across, like they had already left yesterday from the Toronto area, and there were different points that I was seeing the pictures of, not on the news because there is almost nothing on the news, but on social media and some other places where you could see it, because the world is it's unless we choose to and we allow it, it's really hard to suppress truth. And even when we suppress truth, at some point, it always shines through. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for standing in solidarity and supporting the courage of human beings whenever they stand for the right and for the rights of other fellow human beings. Love that. Thank you so much. I'll see you here next Friday at 8:30 Eastern Time. I am so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for courage in the face of fear, no matter what the state. Thank you, and have a good night.